everybody, this is a new game called Curse of the Dead Gods. So I just found this game. I'm gonna be turning the music volume down because I don't want to get copyrighted, but I've played a little, as you can see right here. So I'm gonna play a new slot for you guys, just so you can see from the beginning, alright? So from here, it's pretty basic. So there's these things that you can light up torches with, and you have two weapons. Alright, you have your primary weapon, which you always use, for me at least, your left click or your left mouse, and you have your secondary, which usually is ranged weapons, and it's usually right click. Alright, then there's parrying, then we got rolling. So whenever it does like that, that means it is perfect shot, and it gives an extra boost, or an extra damage boost. Here, this is how you get the levels. Alright, so there's this thing in the game called a curse. So every time you go into a new stage, you always gain 20 curse. And when it reaches 100, it reaches a new level, and it'll either give you a bad benefit or a good benefit. So there are some enemies that when you get hit by their abilities also give you the curse. So, let me go. So now here you can learn about light and darkness. Never want to be in darkness. I usually do because I don't attack, and usually in my areas that I do, braziers aren't in there. So dodging, like I said, space. They always cost 1 stamina, which are these things. And later in the game, there are some benefits that you can get that will allow you to get more. Here. And there's also chain attacks. When you attack long enough with your main weapon, you can chain it. And it gives you a finisher, which will almost always kill the enemy. And then, as you can see here, when you charge it up, it does way more damage than normal. And now, you can get a charge attack long enough, and then with that, combo like that. Alright, that's basic combat. Alright, so when you parry at the right time, it gives you your stamina point back. So let's, there. Alright, so let's do it again. Come on. Dang it. Dang it. Don't mind that. Alright, didn't get that. Alright, now parrying. So, did you do that one right? It doesn't cost stamina point, but it has to be very precise, like that, and it dazes it. You can do stuff like that. So let us this stuff in the future will be very useful since it will allow me to buy more weapons and it will allow me to get more upgrades from the gods. So these are the rooms, right? We got gold, of course, has gold in them. But then you have relics here, right? So relics, they cost you blood, so your health over here to get them, and they can provide some very good bonuses. And then you have attributes here, which are these, which I believe provide damage, treasure finding, and I don't remember the third one. But here you got healing points, so it's 200 HP, I believe, per 10 or 20 curse. Then you got your weapon upgrades, so you can, let's say my pistol, I can upgrade it, cost me gold, but I can use blood. And then we get new weapons here, so if I defeat it, I have the possibility of giving a good weapon or just a normal weapon. Then these are zones that are, you don't know where you're gonna get in them. I've gotten a healing spot in them before. Then you got your champion, which you need to defeat in order to complete this part of the dungeon. So we're gonna go to the relic first. The fiery halls. So barrels right here. Light them on fire, hit them, they will explode. Got to say, whenever you kill monsters, they also give you gold. And if you can manage to kill them or kill enemies close enough to each other, you get timers. There are some curses which will change it from being gold to giving you healing, but that is one of the curses, so it's really dependent on those. And for traps like that, if I don't have my torch out, you can't see it. Over here is a gap, so there's gold over here, so we can get it. Alright. So we jumped that. We can't go back anymore, so it's good that I grabbed it. Alright, we can light enemies on fire. Alright, so it seems like I have gained a corruption. So, let me gather this relic. Or, hang on, I take that back. Relics, you don't need blood. I believe there are some where you get them from blood pools that you need them, but once they drop from the monsters like I just fought, they can drop, and I can heal 6% of gold's offerings amount. So I'm going to take that. And we also have an inventorying system. So I can only hold 6 relics. I can have 5 curses. The final curse will be really bad if you get it. And then you can have a secondary weapon right here, which can be a very good weapon. Then we have the codex of the enemies. So this is the Jaguar Pantheon, and these are the 2 current categories of enemies that we see. Then we have our statistics from the run. So let's continue on. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. These are offerings. So these are relics too. So I could offer blood, and that would take away my HP however much. So if it needed a certain amount, it would take that away. But I also get a curse. So let's say I wanted this one. If I sacrifice my blood or offer gold, never mind. Hang on. If I offered my blood, it would increase that my curse to 70. If I want to get this one, it gets 50, and over here it would be 30. These all provide stats. Down here you can see dexterity, 3 perception, and 3 constitution. So for right now, since I'm low on health, I would be going for this one. the Chalice of Vigor. It also gives me 2 dexterity, which we can go into the menu and see that dexterity provides damage. So now we move on to the attribute room. And we're going to see our curse now. Blinding Greed. The glint of gold is the only light that truly soothes when darkness and ambition join forces. Gold on the ground disappears after a short time. The amount of gold on the ground increases. So it's both a benefit and a curse. We're gonna light this barrel on fire. I believe that's all enemies in this room. So, there's a wall over here. Ooh, that will provide gold. Alright. And maybe one over here. Or so I can't get into it yet. So places like this, you have to fight them without a fire, unless you light them on fire. Look, he grabbed one. 15% damage to poison attacks. See, I don't have a poison weapon. So, instead of taking it and wasting my space in my inventory, I can go down here, and if I press Q, I offer it to the gods, and I restore 4% of my max health. So if I do that, it gives me like 40 or 50 health back. So you can live without stamina, but you cannot do your secondary attack, nor can you do finishers without them. And I believe you cannot do your touch-up attacks. Alright, so these are attributes. So, if I get Tamok's gift, I get 250 match health. If I go Sikdal's gift, I get 25% treasure find. And over here, I can combine them to get both of them. So, they both cost 250, but together it costs 750. They both provide 20 curse if I offer my blood and 40 in total. So I will go for the max health, and using my gold that I've gathered, I bought that without having to get any corruption, so that now I don't have to worry about getting a corruption level until I move on. So here, this is the healing pool. It is 10 corruption per thing. So now I'm going to be at corruption level 2. So now I'm going to be going for the attributes, so I can go up here and upgrade my weapon and get 2 attribute points on the way. Trapped chests. The only blow that cannot be parried is the dagger you thrust into yourself. Greed is the most ferocious of all enemies. Chests are sealed and triggered an attack that must be parried to unlock them. Chests have a chance to drop an additional gear item. So, since we're not going to see as many chests in this run, it won't matter as much. But in later runs where we might, it will. So when you have explosions like that, or when a powerful enemy attacks near one of these, it will ignite, not ignite it, but basically cover it so it gets destroyed and can no longer provide any light to you. So kind of like that enemy, he's kind of like a mini boss right here. So traps not only affect you, but they also affect the enemy. So right here, we can get 200% greed kill time limit, which we're gonna take since it helps with combos and getting more gold. So over here, we have our gifts. I do not have enough gold for them, but I will be taking Yacht's gift for our 20 corruption and offering my blood, since that 10% damage can be really different to change the game. But also means I will gain another corruption level. So now I'm at the 3rd level of the curse, the torch of sorrow. So look to the moon to see the sun's light in its reflection. Look to the sun if you want to go blind. Our torch loses its fire and lighting properties by no longer taking extra damage while standing in the open, dark open. So now I can officially go without having to use it, only for places like that which are have traps. But it is now actually good to go into these areas. Now these enemies are really annoying because they fire beams like that, and you have to dodge at the perfect timing. Because even if you're moving normally, it will still kill you. Or not kill you, but hit you. Alright, so right here we can go and get Citral's gift, which will give me 25% treasure find, which acts as luck and can give me way better stuff, so I will go with that and offer up my gold. It also acts as points down here, so right now this is what I got, and these are blessings, so that is later in the game when we start to earn those. And now these are the codexes. So we've unlocked 2 enemies, the Deadeyes and the Headless Guardians. So next we're going to be going to the upgrades. Alright, let's go. Sorry if you hear my mouse clicking. My mic isn't as good as I would like it to be. It's actually kind of funny that he can light up torches when he hits them. Alright, so here's our upgrade station. So for our basic one, we have no ability for our revolver. But if I do offer up my blood, which gives me 50 corruption, I will be able to restore 1% of my max health for each enemy killed, which can be pretty good. Or for my machete, I can go for a 1% base damage per point of dexterity, which costs the same amount of corruption. So for this run, since I want to live through it, I will be offering up my blood. Now the guardians at the very end of each section are really hard, so I may not be able to complete it and have to do this all over again. are also some areas where you can activate the traps, which can also be a really bad death trap, but also can have some benefits in killing all your enemies. So I'm gonna offer that out to the gods, since I don't use claws as a weapon. And we're gonna go over here to relics, and let's see. None of them are worth getting for that amount of corruption, since I don't want to reach level 5. That's the one thing you never want to in the game. You never want to reach level 5 in corruption. So we're gonna skip that. So there's much more in common between a pretender and flame. They're both driven by a hunger to consume all within their grasp. So the flamethrower traps will activate automatically now. So like those little dragons you've been seeing, instead of waiting a little, they will now fire instantly. So now we have over here, we can upgrade our weapons again. So this time, I'm going to upgrade my machete, since upgrading my revolver won't do anything. And this will add a 20% chance to inflict fire damage every time I hit somebody. So I will be using my gold to buy that, instead of using blood. And I believe this is the final station between, the champion. It's a good thing I did not reach level 5 of corruption, but this is going to be really hard. What is this? Zach Golcher, the Blood Hunter. He has really annoying jaguars over here. Like that. And then he has that ability. Get out of that. You really want to avoid attacks like that. Alright, so he's close to death. So right here, I will just focus on him. And there we go. He is now defeated. So now we gain all these skulls and stuff. So we're gonna collect them. And then we're gonna go enter this teleporter, which brings us back to our main area. So this is new records. I've actually done this in my first try, which is pretty amazing. So go on, continue. Alright, so this is our main area. So we now have blessings. So let's go to here. So these are really passive abilities, so like this or this. Greed kills, restore 1 more stamina, or something like this. Any healing that exceeds max health is turned into gold. So there are really some good ones, and then you have weapons. So they can be found in the temple when you're exploring more often if you get them. So like something like, let's say this, the devouring orbs. So let's say I unlock it. I will have a chance to find this always. But if I banish it, I won't be able to find it anymore. And these are weapons altars. So I can restore them, get more base weapons, or at least good ones, secondary weapons, and two-handed weapons. So right now, I'm going to spend 9 of my skulls for 2 weapon altars. And then over here, let's see. We are going to go with the favor of sigils. Alright, and then these are the blessings, so we can have 3 of them. But currently, we can only have 1. Alright. So wait for it to restore. So this is the second weapon altar. So this one has blunt claws and a worn shield. This one has throwing knives and a top break revolver. So it's really how you want to base your playstyle on that one. So if I really want to go for defense and immediately attack, that one is the one. But if I really want to go to the offense, this is the one. And just doing a little exploring, there's really nothing to unlock except some really nice visuals. This is the starting area that we had at the beginning of the video. This is the same place. And there's nothing cool to unlock down here. Now I haven't completed the game, but my theory is once you defeat all the temples, this door will open. But then you have to fight a final boss, which is going to be really tough. And then on this side, some more altars that can be restored, and then just trouble. And then when we go back, now we have the choice. We can go to the same one, or we can go to the Storm Throne, or we can go to the Bewitched Catacombs. And every time you complete one, you get events. So like this one, we get permanent hallucinations and infected hosts, and we lose all sense of direction. But it can have some really good outcomes. So I would need to defeat 2 of these dungeons, and to unlock these 3, which then I would need more to unlock these 3, and unlock the final one. But right now, this is where I'm gonna end it for video 1. I'm gonna try and get every temple / dungeon defeated in every video from now on. So hang tight for those. Alright.